Hey, what's happening? Get one SirJames coming at you guys with another Star Wars Galaxy's Edge product unboxing and review. And to be quite honest, this was one of those videos where I'm sitting here thinking like, I have no idea how to do this one, because unlike a lightsaber where I know exactly what I want to talk about, here we're talking about a card game. And I never really reviewed a card game, to be quite honest. So I figured, hey, I know a better way to go about this. Let's compare this one from the one inside the theme park with the one sold by Hasbro. So that way we can get the ultimate comparison between the two, and you guys can be the initial judge. Which one do you prefer out of these two options? So without further ado, let's go ahead and change the camera angles around and get to it. Alright, so before we take a look at the cards, let's go ahead and take a look at the difference between the packaging between the one sold in the theme park and the one by Hasbro Gaming. And also too, I hope you guys like the overhead camera shot. This is actually the most finicky over-the-head camera setup that I've done, so hopefully nothing goes wrong here. But anyways, back to the packaging. As you can see, this one is a small overall package on the shelf. And this is an item that is really popular by the man in the theme park, to the point where a lot of people have been having trouble getting this, even still today by the recording of this video. But over here, this does include a total of 62 cards, 2 dice, and instructions. This is recommended for ages 10 and up, and of course up to 2 to 8 players. It's kind of sad because I don't even have one player to play this with. And of course, if you flip it over on the back side here, gives you some basic information as far as how everything is going by. And that's pretty much about it. Now this one was $15, but I think the price increased last I heard. Now taking a look at the one by Hasbro Gaming here, as you can see, the packaging is much larger. In fact, just to compare the two, huge difference. The one by Hasbro Gaming does say Star Wars Han Solo card game, play to win the Millennium Falcon, ages 10 and up. However, the player size is much different. This one says player size 2 to 4, while the other one was 2 to 8. And of course, flipping it on over, you also get some more information, kind of give you the basic rundown of how the game works. And of course, this one also includes 62 cards, 2 dice, and game rules, just like the one from the theme park. But the only difference here is that this one also incorporates 24 cardboard tokens. Now let's go ahead and open the one from the theme park and take a look at the cards individually. And then we'll open the one by Hasbro Gaming and compare the two. So as stated, you get a total of 62 cards, 2 dice, and instructions. Just taking a quick look over the instructions really quick. Alright, so let's see if you guys could take a look at that, because I know a lot of you guys were asking to see the instructions. And here's some more samples on the back. This is giving you a little bit of a breakdown of what a winning hand would potentially look like. If I'm going too fast, you could always pause and check it out after the premiere. So that would be the instructions right there. You also have your dice, pretty basic. I mean, they feel the same quality as the Chance Cube, so nothing too special about those. And then of course you have the back sides of the cards, along with the front. Now the main objective of this game is to basically be the closest to 0 or to be at 0 in order to win. So for example, the one in green will represent positive, and this up here on the top represents the number. So in this case, this is 2, that one's 3, 4, and then 5, and of course 6. And then in the ones in red are negative. So let's say, for example, let's take this one here and this one here. So this one is a positive 2 and a negative 2, so therefore my hand is at 0. That's a winning hand. Now if we had, let's say, this combo here, that would be a +1. So hopefully that'll kind of give you an example. And you also have special cards here too that are already at 0. And some other interesting cards too. And here's a look at the red. So all you have to do is basically just count the little triangles here, and that's going to be the number on the card. Very straightforward. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the Hasbro one, because this is a card game that does require basic math. You know, adding and subtracting. Closest to 0 would be the main winner. We'll set this off to the side really quick so we can compare this with the one by Hasbro. Set this off to the side here. So we got our cards. We also have the dice, rules, and then we got the tokens here. I'm just going to take a handful of the tokens out, just so you guys can see, because again, there's like 24 tokens here. Alright, so taking a look here, this is our instruction booklet, a much bigger book indeed. And I like the instruction booklets to be a bit bigger because it's easier on my eyes. Has everything simple in terms of the deck, tokens, and the initial setup, how to play. And of course, we'll give you some examples of the winning hand. Very straightforward. The one that the park doesn't have are these tokens here. So on the back side, you got your credits, I should say. And then on the other side of the credits, you have different things, such as you have one of the Millennium Falcon, because you're trying to win the Falcon. You also have like Stormtrooper helmets. You have the Imperial AT-DT Walker, a Range Trooper helmet. You also have blasters like the SE-14 blaster pistol. So these are pretty cool, to be quite honest. I do like the addition of these. We got the Skyblade 330 Swamp Bike. And of course, we also have, what is this one? The Quaxium. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But again, these are your different tokens that you're going to use to try to initially win at the very end, because the one with the most credits is going to be the main winner. Here are your dice, which the dice is very similar to the one in the Disney one. As you can see, the only main difference really is that it's much darker and it has a little bit more of a grime to it, while the Hasbro version is very clean. And of course we have our cards here. So I guess let's go ahead and compare the size of the cards. Hasbro one is much smaller compared to the one in the theme park. And of course the backing is different too, with one with the branding of Star Wars on it. Now one of the subtle differences here is that the Hasbro version, it actually tells you the number, making it easier, especially for the kids out there. So for example, again, if we have, let's say, this one here is a -5, and then we have a +4, my hand will be at a -1. I almost screwed up that math there for a second. But yeah, that's just giving you the basics here. Let me go ahead and get this back together. You also have specialty cards like this one. And I guess while we're at it, how do the cards feel? The cards from the one on the theme park feel a lot thicker and much more sturdier, while the one in the Hasbro Gaming are much more flimsy. So I feel like the one from the theme park will last you a lot longer compared to the Hasbro Gaming one. Again, as you can see, this one is 2, and where is a -2? So there's a simple comparison right there. We have -2, and then we also have a -2. For me personally, I guess it kind of depends on the person. Like sometimes I get too lazy when it comes to counting, so I may like the one with the numbers on it. But as far as initial detailing goes, I do like the one sold inside the theme park. I like also the fact that the Hasbro one tried to give the card a little bit of a dirty look. You might be able to see it there. While this one, you could easily tell it has that dirty, grimy look to it, which is really cool. But again, there you guys have it. That is the Sabacc card game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and which one do you prefer? Do you like the one that is sold inside the theme park, or do you prefer the one by Hasbro Gaming? Let me know in the comment section down below, and whether or not is this item worth it. Well, honestly, if you have people that you can play this with, then it's easily worth it. If you're someone like me that has absolutely no one to play this with, then probably not, but maybe a cool souvenir nonetheless. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next review.
This game is fun.
Alright. How about this? Let's see your bet, and I raise you.
2,000.
I'll see your 2,000, and I'll raise you
However much this is.
Whoa, 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 Han. You might want to quit while you're ahead.
You might want to quit while you're behind.
I like this kid.